Welcome to another edition of The Family Business with the Alessis, and today we're going to be talking family with a great brother that is a friend and a supporter of the business that we run as the Alessis, and that is our church. And today I have a guest. His name is Tony Villasuso. And Tony, I'm glad that you're here with me today. And here's what we do on this podcast. We talk about things that we don't always get around to talking about on Sunday. And so you're here, and I'd like, if I can, put a title on this, and I'm going to call it Special People Dealing with Special Needs in the Family. So you're in our church, and you and Debbie and Josh have been a part of our world for quite a long time.
This at the end of March now, it'll be 12 years that we walked into.
Night.
It's a long time, huh, Pastor Steve?
Yes, sure. You got a little bit more gray hair this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has to do a lot with the special needs part.
Well, you're married to Debbie. How long you been married?
Well, come this June, it'll be 20 years.
Yeah.
20,
Let me guess, you're
20.
going to Disney.
No. Actually, I've planned a special trip for her.
Good.
And I'm going to take her.
Does she know?
And yes, she knows,
Okay,
because
this
there's a lot
isn't
of
a
planning that
surprise.
has to do. The one that doesn't know is Josh.
Okay.
So we're going to head off to a very special place within the United States, but it's a beautiful place.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. When you going?
We're going to go June 28th through July 9th. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be celebrating our country, too, in the midst of all that.
Yeah.
Our actual anniversary is 6/21. So
Yeah.
it's been 22 Valentines this past Valentine's that I've been with my Valentine girl.
That's great.
And she's been a blessing to my life.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've been to her, but I've been a...
She has a great sense of humor. She's
Yes.
got a dry sense of humor. You
And
don't
quiet.
always see it. Well, she's a little like Lauren in that she's quiet, and then all of a sudden she'll come up and say something. And it's like, oh, wow. And then there's the humor, and love it. But you have Josh, your son. How old is Josh?
Josh will be 16 coming up now, March 25th.
My gosh.
He's a miracle son.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
you know my past is a miracle that I have one kid at least in my craziness. But Josh is very special, very dear to us.
Yeah.
And a good kid.
Yeah.
Part of this ministry too.
Yeah, he is. He is. And really the reason we're talking is because of him.
Right.
So, Josh, this is for you, buddy.
Yeah.
We're super proud of you and proud of the young man that you are. So he's 13. I'm sorry, 16.
He is going to be 16 March 25th.
Oh, Lord. He's going to be 16.
16 and still a kid at heart, but trying to mature, trying to get through life and all the things that teenagers go through. And,
Well,
we're doing it here.
We've loved seeing him process everything and having you here with him and Deb and the way you work with him and him being a part of our world. And he has special needs. He's a young man.
Yes.
And so we want to talk about that. Before we get into the details, you also work with men that deal with a lot of challenges in their life at the Miami Rescue Mission.
I've been called to help rescue men at the Miami Rescue Mission, men and women, families. I deal with the whole gambit right now.
Yeah.
But it's been 20, come October, will be another 22 years that I've been giving my life there in the front lines on a daily basis, dealing with cases that nobody else wants to deal with in South Florida. Yes, there's other agencies, but our component is, we try to offer them a lot of love and help rescue them from that love of the Lord and those kind of things that we do. So it's a great organization to be a part of.
So it's you're dealing with homelessness, you're dealing with addictions of every kind, you're dealing with abuses, and then a lot of throwaways that the community or people don't necessarily want to pull in close. And
I think
you guys
they
are
care,
rescuing.
but it's easier to give it to the agency that deals with that stuff. So, our society is facing a lot of issues. We know that.
Yeah.
And through there, I get to see men and women from every aspect, from alcohol to mental illness, on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And it gives me a perspective, even when I'm dealing with Joshua, to overcome some things, to help him overcome as well.
Well, you're truly a hero, man. And I mean this. I look at what you deal with in your life and what you're able to manage and juggle with all that goes on just in your profession
Yes.
for a good 8 to 10 hours a day. And then you come home and you still have the challenges that face you with raising a special needs
Well,
son.
it's funny that we started down that avenue because um, being a social worker first, I think, prepared me to be a better dad for Josh later.
Wow.
Because as you do the social work, before I had Josh, you were fighting to get people help at different organizations, different places, and you got to fill out uh, um, applications, and you got to fill out many things that you have to be an advocate for them.
Yeah.
Some of the people I deal with have no insurance, no income, no money, nothing whatsoever. So when Josh came to us, March 25th of 2006, we didn't know what we were going to expect, but
Hmm.
3.5 years later, we knew we were in a battle of our lives to help him be a part of society. So I
Yeah.
think God pla I was placed in a place where I had schooling prior to what was
Hmm.
coming into my life.
Wow. God prepared you in advance.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
If I look at it now from this day and age to
Yeah.
back then, it's all been step by step.
Yeah. Um, Josh was 3 years old when you started to realize something was
Yeah.
different.
God bless my sister. She
Yeah.
kept her name is Livia. She kept telling us, you need to get an evaluation. You need to get evaluation. So at 3.5, around there, we decided to take Josh for an evaluation, and we got the news that I didn't believe, that I didn't want to accept, that I didn't want to. Uh, I wanted to raise my child in little league baseball and
Yeah.
and doing all the things, and uh, it was a rude awakening that day. Not in a bad way.
Hmm.
It was like, my social service hat went on, okay? And I started fighting since the moment we found out
Yeah.
he was diagnosed with Asperger's. It's under the umbrella of autism.
Hmm.
And I didn't know what the heck this was.
Yeah.
I just knew that, it wasn't going to be easy according to what the doctor told me. But I know that if I fought to overcome demons in my life,
Hmm.
I was going to fight for my son to give him the best that I could,
Hmm.
to put him in position to win.
Yeah.
And that's what I've dedicated my last years. I mean, I don't have to be told, "Hey, you need a date night. You need this," because I'll include him in everything I do.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave him out.
Yep.
And there's many things that they told me I wouldn't be able to do with him, and
Hmm.
he's done. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but
Yeah.
from the ages of 3.5, just to find an agency that would take him to help with ABA therapy. I think Joshua had
ABA would be what?
behavioral therapy
Yeah.
that you get, so that Josh knew what the. At one point, when Josh was very little, what got us to this is the meltdowns that he would have. Um, Literally, when he didn't get his way, bang his head against the wall. Different things that
Hmm.
that we've shared with him,
Yeah.
but we didn't know what the heck was going on.
Right.
I just thought it was, sometimes, when you're listening to your family and
Yeah.
the Latino side,
Slap it out of him.
hey, let's get him out.
Put him in
Let's
his room.
slap him around a few times and
Right.
discipline, which ABA teaches you the right discipline to deal
Mm.
with kids.
Hmm.
It gives you the tools to be able to show them, you're not going to get this until this behavior gets like this.
Yeah.
That turns into other things, because then every time you do a behavior that he does it well, you need to go to treasure box.
Yeah.
So you need to hang around, and so you try to explain to people, well, I'm sorry. He thinks he needs to. You find yourself apologizing sometimes for the behavior of your
Yeah.
of your child, which brings other burdens to your life.
Yeah.
But as life goes on,
Yeah.
you try to not make excuses, not compare. But going back to the beginnings, doctor did tell us that he wasn't going to give me a list of things he wouldn't do,
Oh my.
and some have been overcome already.
See. Yeah.
In the pushing and the working and the doing, and the therapies and the medication that he takes, and I don't know how much you do know, but when I walked into the business,
Yeah.
12 years ago.
Church.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
walked into church and,
Yep.
and the business of God and the business
Yep.
of the Alessi family here. I walked in distraught.
Yeah.
I just wanted to sit down. I wanted to find a place where he would be accepted, he would be wanted, and Lord and behold, first thing I loved was Pastor Mary's worship and the
Yeah.
team here. It was like
Yeah.
over the top for me. I like to worship, so it
Yep.
was great
Yep.
that aspect. And then I looked down the road and I saw my best friend.
No way.
Yeah, he was visiting too.
Ralph.
Same time.
Mr. Geddes.
Yeah, Ralph
Yeah.
Geddes. He was
Yeah.
visiting, and then
He's a little younger than you, right?
No, he's a little. We're not gonna go there. I'm younger. He's older.
Okay. Yeah.
But then we learned in a couple of weeks that there was a ministry here called Hand in Hand in the
Yeah.
business that would take care of kids with special needs. That he
Yeah.
would be accepted right off the bat. I mean, Deb broke down crying,
Oh, come on.
and so did I.
Yeah.
And we said we found home, not because of anything, but really, this is nothing to do better. Anywhere you go, you're gonna look for the good and the bad. We
Yeah.
found very good coming in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
knowing that Joshua was loved from the get go, that he was accepted from the get go, that he wasn't gonna be, that people weren't gonna come to me, and he was gonna be trouble, because you get those reports from school.
Yeah.
You got him early on.
Oh,
Your son
man.
didn't do this, and I go, ma'am, he's under the umbrella of autism.
Wow.
He is going to struggle. He's not going to be perfect. Now, I'm going to try to correct it, but you're going to have to work with me so that we can get to make him a better
Yeah.
person in life.
Oh my gosh. I'm doing a little work here at the same time because I go back in my mind. I'm trying to remember who started our Hand in Hand ministry. I know Yoshika
Had a big part.
Yoshika Green had a huge part in it, and one of her sisters, I think Sharia.
But you know who was in that place taking care of Josh in the beginning?
Who?
Your kids.
Yeah.
It was your kids. They were doing the business of hand-in-hand ministry, and there was other people, but they would be in there with Josh.
Yeah. I may say things wrong.
No,
So
we're
forgive
good.
me in advance if I
Yeah.
do. I don't have all the lingo, the verbiage down.
Yeah.
I don't know all of these details and nuances of dealing with special needs children. I do know that our church is more and more seeing this in our families,
Yes.
and it's a wonderful little community that we have where we come alongside, especially our good fellows, our guys. Al Lavinia, his son.
Yeah.
I know that the Gomez family with young Nick.
Those are heroes. Here.
Yeah, you're.
They're my
Listen,
heroes.
we
After what I see
have-
them overcome.
We have some. So we got heroes on different fronts. We
Yeah.
got heroes that lead in a spiritual manner. We got heroes that lead in a leadership manner. But you guys are heroes, and that you're able to. Not depend on alcohol to help you survive or medication, or maybe you do, but
No.
you're not strung out, you're not depressed, you're not hiding out. You're stepping into a real leadership role of your family, Tony, and that's why when I'm thinking family, I see my family doing what we do, but I see what you do with your family and these other families in our church that are doing it, and that you would be able to come together and still look at life with such vitality. You're positive. You're in the game. You're not using it as an excuse to.
There's
keep
days
you
I want
back.
to.
Yeah. Yes, you do. No doubt.
I'm not going to lie to you about that.
But you guys go forward, and that. So to me, it's very heroic to see that in you.
I've battled in the front with Josh, and going to places with him early on, and because you said that I'm doing life with him, going to places with Josh in the beginning wasn't easy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You walk into a loud. I remember walking into Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, which is something that was a still tradition to me as a kid.
Yeah.
Go to the circus. So I took him to the circus, and he was the first. The sounds were too loud for him.
Oh man.
But I've seen the progress. Now We go to an 80,000
seat arena,
Dallas game in Dallas, and we have a deal. Hey, buddy, I had to learn to live with this. When the Cowboys have the ball, when UM has the ball, when the Heat have the ball, you got to put your phone down.
Yeah.
So I don't, some people think the phone is something wrong. Sometimes I think he spends too much time on it, and he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think screen is where he hides to be able to survive.
Yeah.
I don't know where his brain is at sometimes.
Yeah.
Very smart, but
Yes, he
but
is.
He'll literally play the game, and I'll tell him, hey, UM got the ball, and he'll put his phone away.
He'll watch.
He'll watch,
Oh.
and then he'll ask questions.
Oh, that's good.
But through the years, it wasn't let's go to a UM game and that's it. There was times where he had to stay behind because I didn't want to battle and I wanted to take a moment for myself.
Yeah.
But now it's all six of us.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse. And when I say six of us, I've been going through the UM games with Ralph for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's a good when you find people in your life that don't look at him with special needs.
No.
They just welcome him.
Yeah.
Whatever question he has, whatever thing, and that's what you find here in the business here at the church.
Yeah.
That's the way Josh is. The way, sometimes he could be standoffish, but people know.
Mm-hmm.
He has a great relationship with the three Bernaldo boys.
Oh, so, yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes he won't say two words and he'll walk away. He'll
But
talk
they're
about
his
them.
friends.
He'll talk about them all the way to church.
Oh.
And we get to church, or he'll talk about them.
Yeah.
And then we get here and he has a chance to
Engage.
might say a few things that relate with them. Then I gotta go. I need to go sit down. And so those are the things that you work on too.
I'm laughing not at him. I'm laughing over all that we have experienced with Josh that is very endearing.
Yes.
So, I mean, a number of things. The biggest that I tell is when he gave me a suggestion one time for something in the lobby. So I walk out in the lobby and there he is, and he wants to talk to me in his real serious tone. And this is probably 3 years ago. So he was 12 or 13 at the time.
Yeah.
So he talks to me and tells me something, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I don't know what happened. I didn't even think about it the second time because it was
all
just
the time.
carried on a conversation with Josh. Then we have a massive Christmas tree like a year later in the lobby. And I come walking out and he says, I have another suggestion for you. Now, the last one was like a year ago. I couldn't remember that there was a first one, but he lets me know I have another suggestion for you. I said, okay, Josh, what is it? And he tells me about that tree is so big that we need to have more decorations. So why don't you let the kids in the children's ministry make decorations so we can put them on the tree? And I said, that's great. Okay, thank you, Josh. And I'm ready to walk away. And he says, no, I just want to make sure you know this is the second suggestion.
that's the thing that.
So I laugh and in endearment with him.
The thing with Josh is I learned too in therapy sessions and all that. Don't promise anything.
Yeah.
If you promise, you're in trouble.
He's going to keep it.
He's very literal. He's by the. We were just talking about it earlier before we started our conversation, and he wants to know the end of the story, whether the story has an end or it doesn't have an end. And, I've saved you from a few other suggestions.
Not Gabby, though, because he gets Gabby, too. Listen, I love it.
Gabby's on Wednesday. I'm not in there Wednesday, but, I've been in trouble here during one of your sermons. I said, Josh, put your hand down. You don't know what you're putting your hand down for. But
he wants to ask a question.
No, he wants
so
to,
cute.
He might not understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe three weeks ago. You were saying something, and he was voting for if they're going to end up divorced or not. He didn't even know what it is. Josh, you don't even know what he's talking about. At least wait and ask me. Or I get it as a dad too. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? And I go, Josh, you're going through the same things you went through.
Yeah,
I can help you.
That is so sweet.
We were doing Spanish. He's learning Spanish on the way to school today. And he goes, oh, you know that? And I go, Josh, why wouldn't I know Spanish? it's like that, but you can either get mad at it.
No.
I've learned through the years you can't get mad at it.
Yeah.
But when we first started, and I don't want to lose that. We're talking about when he was going through his therapies, Treasure. I think the Lord put Josh in my life. I don't know about Debbie, for me, to teach me some patience too,
Mm,
because I'm very like, let's do what's
yeah.
next. And he always needed a gift or a reward at the end of very good behavior. So how do you break out of that?
Yeah.
How do you break out of that situation? Now we do. Now it's, yes, Dad, don't worry, we'll go to the next one. But it wasn't always like that.
Mhm.
Sometimes you had to yank him out of a place crying
Yeah.
because he wanted to get something and you just couldn't get that,
Wow.
whether he was good or not.
Mhm.
But he's come a long way,
Yeah.
Pastor. He's in a high school now with only 80 or 90 kids.
Wow. So he's getting specialized attention,
It's
or
not
at least
only
attention for his.
it's not so much
speed.
specialized as it was back in up to 8th grade,
Yeah.
but schoolhouse prep, if I can
Mhm.
say it, is doing a great job,
Yeah.
with him. They give him the time to finish his work, to finish his stuff. Josh is very dedicated to doing his homework.
Mhm.
His handwriting is not the best,
Mhm.
but he gets there, and if he starts at 4 o'clock, sometimes he goes to 10 o'clock at night
Yeah.
to finish work that another kid might do in a
Mhm.
couple of hours. But as much as I want him to go to sleep, I also have to balance that out. He wants to do it,
Right.
so I'd rather
He
he,
wants to finish.
yeah, he's not too fond of school, but he knows he's got to go through it.
Yeah.
But he's making it happen.
Yeah. How have you and Debbie got on the same page about this, working together with it, and just making it happen the way you are?
Well, he's a mama's boy.
Yeah.
He's mom's boy, and she loves him dearly.
Sure.
And we're not always on the same page. That would be a lie if I say
Sure.
that.
I was hoping you'd say it.
Yeah, no. The truth is that you battle,
Mhm.
but you overcome, and then you have the side conversations to make sure that we are on the same page.
Mhm.
I'm the one that spoils. Mom is the one that likes to have more check, and I'm the one that shows up with a $350 Game Boy that it wasn't time to have, and she was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
We want to get him off a screen, and you're bringing him a screen. And I just want him to provide, the things that other kids have, so
Right.
that he can enjoy life. But
Mhm.
we do pretty good now. She's the app police, the game police, like we call it at home. She's the one that takes care of all those. I want to take him to see Batman. She goes, no, you're not. And, things like that. Joshua will say, if mom doesn't want, I'm not going.
Aw.
When it comes to that situation.
Yeah.
And I always honor, I just bother, push the, I like to go to the movies. He's a movie guy, so.
It keeps him entertained. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he
Stimulating.
loves movies. He loves to go out and see that and be a part of the movie world.
Yeah. When I came back from college, graduated in '84, went to work with my dad, and I probably I needed some help because I think I was working at that time part time at the church, and everything was like grunt work. It was cleaning, it was changing light bulbs at that in that particular building. You'd get up and crawl through the attic. It was small crawl space. It was a lot of grunt work, cleaning up things outside and taking it to the dump, even changing out the screen. We had this drop down screen that was too small and I wanted a bigger one. So my dad was so tight on the budget. He's, yeah, you can do it, but who's going to put it up? We're not going to get it because we have a budget, and I couldn't buy it, the screen, and afford the labor. So I was like, I'm going to install it. So I had these two young men in the church, JJ and Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were brothers, and they were both
I've
special
met him here
needs.
before.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And JJ and Billy became my workers. They worked right alongside of me to help me do everything around the church. Even when we had a house, we bought a house after Hurricane Andrew in '92 and had to go in because it was demolished from the hurricane. But I was in there and I was trying to do all the demo work myself. And I'll never forget, I'm there, we're working. I pick them up and it's just the three of us. And I said, okay, guys, I need you to trim this bougainvillea tree. and I'm going to go to the store. I'll be right back to get some things, and I'll bring you some water. So hang in there. Just trim this bougainvillea tree. And the bougainvillea tree, of course, has thorns and everything on it. When I came back like 40 minutes later, I look up and the bougainvillea tree is gone. Not trimmed.
I have a story for you one day.
Gone. And I come driving up and I see JJ and Billy, and they are so proud of themselves for cutting down that tree, but they are bleeding.
Oh my God.
All over their face, their arms, you see it coming through their clothes because they went to work on taking, not trimming it, but cutting that baby down, and it almost killed them. But they wanted to do it so bad to make me happy.
Yeah.
I want you happy.
And
so
I think Joshua may battle with that sometimes, trying to make me happy, because he'll turn around and goes, "Are you happy?"
Oh,
So Joshua has been given the opportunity 2 summers now. It was always summer camp. So he's worked, and he told the HR lady, "Excuse me, I can't talk right now," because she wanted to get to know him. He said, "Excuse me, I'm working right now. I can't talk to you." So he was doing the envelopes and filling them in and stuff like that, filling them in with the newsletters and all that stuff, and that kid could do it.
yeah.
So he's learning and yet struggling, and then it's just a process, Pastor, to get him to realize that he's 16, and that things have changed from when you were 14 or 12 or 10 or 9, but each year that passes or each moment that passes, things are getting better.
Yeah. Well, he's an inspiration. You're an inspiration for
Yes.
real. Debbie's an inspiration. Loving the way you guys have done it. And I think what gives us in leadership some of our pride here is that you felt when you came through the doors, because there was a program hand in hand for Josh, that he would get the attention that he needs, while at the same time giving you some time to power down and get fed in an environment like a church service that encourages
so much
you.
so that we drop him off here on Wednesdays and we don't even think. He's got so many people that surround him now. I mean, the biggest danger is getting out of the car when another one is coming this way. But once he's inside through the doors, the leadership here, they know him. They know how to deal with him.
How does that feel, though? You're dropping him off.
Oh, they tried to get me if I was going to do something. I said, no. This is my time where I go with Debbie somewhere, even though it costs a couple $100 at Target. I hope she hears that. I'd rather just spend some time with her, because we don't have the time sometimes to do it.
Yeah.
That's another thing special needs families go through. Sometimes you think you have to be with your kid all the time.
Yeah.
And you have to learn that, because, there's times that Deb wants a time and I don't want to leave him, or I don't want to send him. I want to make sure I stay with him.
And how do you cope with that?
I have to balance it out. And then if my in-laws are available, make time to drop them off. And, I really haven't gone out looking. Sometimes I haven't put it out there, Hey, can you take care of Josh for this while so I can go out? And usually now we're facing bigger problems. When do we start leaving him alone at home? And when do we teach him to have a key and come in and come out? I'm the one struggling with. Debbie's ready to do it. I'm the one like, how about if he turns on the gas stove and it blows up the house or hurts himself, you know? Because he's curious, so he wants to start it. He's got
Exploring,
He's got, my stepfather passed last year, so he has a Swiss Army knife that says Abuelo Rafa on it.
Oh.
And I won't let him touch it because he wants to pull out all the
gadgets in it. Yep.
And so I tell him, you can't do that. You're going to cut your finger. But he knows where it's at.
Yep.
And sometimes he'll go grab it. And I go, did I give you permission to touch that?
Yeah.
He goes, Dad, I'm not going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But, things like that. Those are the things that we're battling with now as they get older. How are we going to, let him get older and not worry about when he was 9 or 7 or 6 or 4, or because he doesn't. At some point, you gotta cut it loose. It's gonna be hard. But
sure.
How do you do it now when he finishes high school? If he's gonna go to college, whether it be the special college that they offer at FIU or whatever he's gonna do, you're gonna have to trust in God to let it go and let him accomplish what he has to accomplish.
Yeah. And you're talking yourself off the cliff quite a few times on that, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. I'm the one that I think is more protected,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Debbie. But she's willing to, like, we need the time, let him
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
and
And she deserves that time with you.
sure,
That's not easy, but
yeah,
she deserves that time with you.
yes, sir, that's correct.
24/7. You don't get to pause when you have a special needs son or daughter.
No, but you pause on Sunday for a little while.
Yeah.
You come in here, you go out to eat, do whatever you have to do, and uh, you know.
Yeah.
That's why we try to do when we can get away, we try to get away,
Sure.
It's just you need. I tell people, you might think I'm going to Disney again. I just drive past West Palm Beach to forget
good
the
enough.
craziness from
Yep.
from the daily ups and downs that you go
Yeah.
through here in Miami-Dade County or Doral, or
You just need to go up to the farm for a couple days, man. Go
just,
enjoy it. Take Deb
get
up
out of
there
here for a
and
little while.
look at the cows, chickens, grab the eggs. That's good.
Sounds
Oh,
good for a
man.
little bit.
It's always there.
Yeah,
Don't do it in the
Thank you.
summer. It's hot as heck.
it's getting hot now.
Oh, man. I already looked at the temps. They're not dropping like they've been doing up in
It's
that
going
area.
up and up.
Well, as I said a minute ago, for real, you're inspiring, Tony. You're not on this journey alone. I'm glad our business, our church, could be of assistance in any way. I'm very, very proud of our community here at the church because they have embraced Josh. He has a place and a role to play. Funny story, because Gabby, my daughter, who leads the youth group, is given out not too long ago assignments. So they're trying to teach the kids that you got to serve, you got to give back.
Yes.
So there was assignments to be given for everyone. And so what do you want your assignment to be? And it could be anything from they're going to clean and set up chairs, tear down chairs, all that. The big one was that was cute was what they call the greeter, which is the person that's hospitality. So when a person comes in, they're greeting them at the door and giving them whatever program. So Josh hands his response to Gabby, and it's that he wants to be in hospitality.
Can you imagine that?
He wanted to be.
We discussed that night all the way home. What do you mean hospitality?
He wants
You
to
don't even
greet
like to be in the
people.
front line.
Oh my gosh, but he wanted to do it. It was
Yeah.
like inside. And so Gabby's like, Dad, he's on the hospitality team.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's always a topic of conversation because it's just so special. It's so unique to see his development.
And you said it right. We have a circle of families here that need the support, need Metro Life. There's a bunch of heroes in this church of people that have overcome this thing. So
we have a young man, special needs. By the way, JJ and Billy, they're down at our other campus, and they serve as ushers on Sunday, and they've been there for years.
yeah.
Even when we left to start our church, they stayed there, and they would be ushers. And some people over the years were like, we need to move them to a different area where the public doesn't see them so much. And like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
No. They've take ownership of that ushering, and they'll be busy at the end of the service picking up trash and cleaning things up. The one other young man, Al's son, he helps on the front row over here when we're ready to go
That's
on the
amazing.
platform. He's handing a mic to
Not
us.
only that, but he helps
Busy.
his father on the weekend when they come clean up.
Clean up. He's there.
I mean, I saw him driving that truck this week, and I said, "What?" I said, "That's a miracle right there." I told Debbie, "That's where I want to go. That's where I want to be. That's inspiration." Because if we could all root for each other, to get to that level, so that they could be independent, that's I think
the isolation has to be the worst. Meaning that for the parent as well as the child, where they feel so isolated because they're not a part of normal society, that's got to be the worst.
I'm not in Joshua's brain or head, but I don't know what he goes through when I bring him here on Wednesdays. He could probably get jacked up to get off the car and get into a crowd of people. It's probably not easy. I would say it would probably he would need to overcome the fear before he gets here. He might not tell me, but probably rather be chilling and not having to deal
Mm-hmm.
with talking with anybody.
Yeah.
So that he is now telling us, yes, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too much homework? No, but I'm going to get through. Sometimes he pushes so hard, and I tell him, look, son, we're going to be okay. You don't go today. Finish. And I don't ever encourage don't go, because I'm from that school is
Yeah.
you need to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Does he want to be here?
yes.
See there?
Yeah, he says, I want to go.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to come Friday.
Yep.
You know, he was tested twice last week before I brought him.
Come on.
Because he had like a slight cold.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take him.
Oh,
I don't
tested
know.
for
I can't take him over there if I don't know what's going on. I don't want to blame anybody.
Yeah.
But he was good both times.
Did he show up on Friday?
Yeah, no voice.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, the youth. Laryngitis.
Hey, they had an electric bull out there.
He got on it.
He didn't.
Yes, he did. He didn't like the joust too much because he got thrown off, but he got on the bull. So that's why I say I'm blessed, because even with special needs, he's overcoming and he's participating, and he just does it at his pace.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that that's the way it's got to be.
Well, let's bring this thing in for a close, because there are families and parents that have a Josh in them, and we want you to know that you're not alone.
Yes.
There's people out here that are doing it. I want you to know there's a community that can help. It's not to hurt, and if you can get past some of those feelings of insecurity that everybody's looking at me and my kid's different, if you can get past that, you'll find a community being able to get past some of those things too, if you just stay in the game with it. Don't make it a one and done, or try a few things. And I think you could also come in knowing consistency is going to be the key to helping you and your child adapt to the environment that they're in. Even though somebody's going to be uncomfortable, your consistency will help get past the discomfort.
Correct.
And so in the long run, Tony, we're here. I can't thank you enough for sharing your heart with us. I know even as a special needs parent, you need to talk about this.
Correct.
And I'm glad we can have this conversation, and we are for you. We're inspired by what you and Josh do. So
well, I'm inspired to be part of excellence.
Yeah.
So I like to be part of here, and the same. If there is a Josh in our business, and in our church that hasn't come out or is struggling, I'm there, just to at least guide you to what I've been. You don't have to take what I tell you for grain, but I can tell you what worked and what has worked. And what could continue to work, and you don't have to go through learning everything how I had to learn it felt like on my own, because there's times you feel like that. But
sure. Oh,
I'm glad I was here today.
You're a great student because you've learned a lot. And one more thing, you and Debbie open your home for what we call our connect groups, and sure enough, man, you don't use it as an excuse why you can't. Your special needs son, you almost use it as a motivation. Let's do this.
Let's do it. And sometimes, at the end of the day, he might be doing homework at the end of the connect group, and I call him out so he can pray.
Oh,
so been a while since we have any kids come with the people that are coming, but he knows. Yeah, he knows when we get takeout on Wednesday, it's because we got to eat fast because people are coming, or we're setting up for people that are.
What's
coming.
His favorite food, by the way?
Rice. Chicken breast, black beans, and maduros, and that is owed to my mom because Joshua doesn't. We didn't get into that, but they don't eat everything. Yeah, so it's got to be the brown diet, they call it. Yeah, like it's pizza, spaghetti. Every once in a while, you get them to try a broccoli.
So Latin. Spaghetti.
But yes. Those are the things, but that particular dish, my mom, rest in peace. Yeah, she said, autism or not, you're going to eat it.
There's the old school.
She spooned them. And made him love it. That's his favorite dish. That's his go-to dish. Oh, God. And now we've added to it in his growing. Dos croquetas. Really? I thought he would never eat a croqueta. He would never try one. Man. Now recently he just 3 months ago he started having them.
I love it.
So he loves it. So,
Tony, you're great to talk to. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed listening to The Family Business today with Steve Alessi and my dear friend Tony Villasuso. We've been talking special people dealing with special needs. Thanks for joining us.
thank you for having me.
Hey there, if you enjoyed this episode of the Family Business Podcast with the Alessis, then you'll want to know we've got more insight, more encouragement, more great conversations that we can have on Sundays, and even some surprises coming your way. So you want to make sure you subscribe to our channel and watch one of these next videos here next, because remember, family is everybody's business.